Hello, everybody. Saturday Paint Night Live is on. How exciting. Okay, so I usually need a couple of minutes to make sure that I see everything that I need to see. If there is, because I'm looking for comments, I'm looking for things. Okay. We are on. So exciting. Okay, I see people joining me. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. I'm going to give it 1 minute for everybody to hop on so that we are ready. And while we're all hopping on, let me know where you're from. Hi, Tara. Good to see you, girl. Let me see. Waiting, okay? Just a minute. Just a minute or so for everybody to get on and say hi. Okay? I have Krista from Newfoundland, Canada. Oh my gosh, that's far. And cold. That is cold. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I just want to make sure. So yeah, there was a rogue comment on there. I have no idea what's happening. Okay, I have Ruth from Puerto Rico. Welcome. And I have Holly from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. Lots of Canadians today. Hi, Canada. You guys looking forward to painting snow? I am. All right, so we waited long enough, right? Let me remove that banner real quick. There we go. All right, so this is what we're going to be painting tonight on a slightly larger scale. Well, kind of times 4 scale. So if you, I totally forgot to get that one. If you did not download the tracer and if you need it because the way the truck is drawn here, it's in perspective, right? It gets a little bit like it changes. It's not just a square. So it's in the event. If you would go back to the event, I don't know, maybe it's easier to just give you the link here. I'm almost there. Hold on just a second. Just a quick link to the tracer if you need it. And we will start. Hold on. Paste. What? You guys can see me, right? Okay, I see people from Illinois, Nova Scotia, is it Scotia? Canada, Connecticut. Hi, Sila. Heidi from Illinois. Laura Lee from North Carolina. Joanne from Ontario. Hi, guys. Welcome. Okay, so this is what we're painting. Let me see. My thing had a little bit of a problem. Just give me a second. Okay, we're all good. All right, so this is what we're painting. For this big canvas, which is not actually a canvas, I'm using mixed media paper for mine, but of course you're welcome to use whatever you like. I'm gonna be using this 2-inch chip brush, very cheap. I have Southern Illinois. Sarah, welcome. And then I have these two brushes. They're like 3/4 of an inch, not exactly an inch, but you know, it'll get us there. And I have a fan brush for my trees and a little liner brush for everything else. I have a toothbrush. Your choice. You can use a toothbrush or you can use any other brush to make like snowflakes and stars. I'll show you how to do that. And I have all my paints set up and I'm ready to paint. I hope so are you. All right, so here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna start painting and then we're gonna play a trivia game. Now, the prize for trivia game is bragging rights. So you get to have bragging rights if you get your answers right. So that's kind of a fun thing that I like to do here. We will paint for about an hour and then we'll break for about 5 minutes to let people catch up and maybe somebody needs to, you know, step away for whatever reasons. And then we'll come back and we'll continue and finish the painting. What else? Yes, I am not playing music in the background because I think it would be a lot more fun for you guys to play your own music and enjoy your music that you like. You might not necessarily like the music that I will play. And yeah, so here we go. Everybody knows my name is Luba Carlson. I'm the artist. And now I'm going to do the artist thing. I have two screens going on, myself and my canvas. Hopefully you guys can see. So let us start. Okay, so we're gonna start with painting this white strip over here, the sky. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some, I never know how to pronounce these things. It's like phthalo blue, right? It's kind of purplish blue. So I'm gonna put some on my palette and I'm gonna grab my 1-inch brush and I'm gonna start with that, right? But okay, let's do all the sky colors so that we have all the colors ready and we can go. So we're gonna need phthalo blue, we're gonna need violet. So put some violet on so that you guys are ready. Trying to make sure that we have all that I've seen all the comments and questions and if anybody had to say anything. Okay, I have the violet. I'm not sure, like, let's use Prussian blue. It's not in the original painting, but I really like to have Prussian blue right on the top level. It's like, kind of gives it a nice touch. Sky blue. And I'm gonna use, I have two pinks here. It doesn't help that my other camera is backwards. Where is it? Here. So I have neon pink that's very, very bright, and I have regular pink. So I'm gonna put both of them on my palette here, and I'm gonna see which ones I'm gonna use more. I like them both. I really like neon colors. So, all right. I'm gonna grab my 1-inch brush, make it wet, and then I'm gonna, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make it wet, and I'm gonna put the wet brush directly into my Prussian blue. So I'm using my big old palette here. So this is my Prussian blue, and I'm just gonna start at the very top. And my goal is to make it as dark as I can. Just here, just like that. Get a little bit more water. And then we're gonna get, with the same messy brush, then you're gonna get your violet and you're gonna put violet right underneath. Just like that. Just kind of use it, what you have on the brush. And you might need to go more on that if your canvas is dry, or it might just work just like that. Okay. Rinse out your brush, and we're gonna get that phthalo blue just the same way. I just put it on my brush, and I want to work this fast so that the colors do not dry, so that they will work together. Okay. Rinse, 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 rinse. Sky blue. Oh, no. No, 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 no. That was a big no, 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 no. So if that happened because my brush was too wet. That's okay, because it's all gonna be painted over, so no big deal. All right, so here's my sky blue. It's drying real fast for me. I don't know how it's for you. It really depends on if it's warm or cold, or moisture. Plus, I'm painting on paper and not on a canvas, so there's a little bit of a difference. So I rinsed off my brush, and I'm gonna dip one side of my brush into that pink, and then the other side of my brush is gonna be dipped into neon pink. So see, I have two colors, pink and neon pink. And I'm gonna use it right here. I picked up a little bit of blue on that. Gonna just wipe it down on the paper towel and maybe put some more neon pink into this, just to get some bright color. And the regular pink. And so I'm just gonna stop over here where the line is, get a little bit more water. Okay, y'all, so my paint has dried way too fast. I wasn't expecting that. That usually doesn't happen, but probably because the heat is on in the house, the paint had dried way too fast. So what you can do, you can wet your brush and add a little bit of water on that. Or, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna pray to God that works, because I haven't done that with this painting before. I have this mister bottle, so I'm just gonna mist some water on this. Okay, and hopefully it will revive the paint a little bit. And this is why we needed the 2-inch brush. We're gonna blend it all together, and we're gonna start from the bottom and we're gonna go to the top, and we're gonna use wide sweeping motions to do that. So I'm just gonna start here and start moving up. Okay, so my brush picked up a lot of blue, so I'm gonna brush it off onto the paper towel. Just clean it up on the paper towel, dry it up the best you can. Okay, and I'm gonna add just a little bit more water on top. No rains, no rain. And I'm just gonna blend the blues a little bit more together. But I am not gonna drag a lot of blues into the pink, because the blues will take over and it'll make it kind of lavender purple-ish, and this is not what I want. So here we are. Okay, making sure that it all shows all you need to see. All right, so while you guys are working on your skies, I'm gonna ask the first question. I just wonder if it's something that you guys would like to do. Bragging rights. Googling is allowed, by the way. So, okay, ready? What country is plagued by the most tornadoes? What country is plagued by the most tornadoes? Okay. Just type. Okay. If you look back at this and you think that that's a little bit too bright, which is what I'm looking at, I'm thinking a little bit too bright, what we can do is we can get some white paint. Just put some white on your palette. Wet your brush. Put some water in your white. And make it really runny. Like milk. Okay? And then gently, starting from the top, add some white, wipe off your brush, go back, and just work that in. I do not like all the blue colors that came back here, so I'm just going to clean this up with my paper towel. But see how it muted your colors? So that it's not so bright. Yeah? Okay. So to me, every time I paint, something different happens. Let me see if my... Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was just trying to see if I could maybe... Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter what I paint, it's with me. Doesn't matter what I paint. Hello. I do not know how to say your name, friend. But hello. Oh, nobody's taking up on my trivia. Okay. Okay. So this part is done. So next part is we're gonna paint the road. And to paint the road, we're gonna need the white that's already there, and we're gonna need the sky blue that is also already there. So I'm gonna grab my big brush and I'm gonna get some white on it and some blue on it at the same time. One side is white, the other side is blue. And I'm just gonna paint the road together with the truck, doesn't matter right now. Just all of this and the hearts and everything. Okay. So at this point, it's too blue. So this is where I'm gonna go back to this white puddle that I have. Okay. And I'm just gonna use this white. I'm gonna need more white. Hold on. Holly! Yes! Holly, you are correct. You got a point in trivia. It is the US. So I'm just adding white to my paintbrush and going white with that to just kind of, oh, I picked up some purple on that. That's okay. So I'm now going all the way up to this horizon line, kind of, sort of. Doesn't have to be perfect because that's where the trees will go. But I just want to be able to have the road painted before we start putting that little truck in there. Because once we paint the truck, there's no, this, it's gonna be a pain to try and put the road, you know, so that that's right where we need it. Okay. You should still be able to see your outlines for the truck when you're done. I'm not putting a lot of paint on the truck itself because we're gonna paint it, so why even bother? Okay, here we go. If you're painting on canvas, you might want to extend this light blue to the bottom and do the sides also as well as you're painting, but you don't have to. I have Dee O'Brien, Dee from United States. Hi. And I have Joe from Campbell River, Vancouver Island. Ooh, that's far, far, far from here. I feel like I missed a question. Did I miss a question? I totally did miss a question. Jennifer, I'm so sorry. Yes, this is recorded. Yes. Okay, y'all, I'm back. What? Yeah, I lost my connection. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? Can somebody please tell me that they can hear me? Okay, Terry says yes, you can hear me. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay, let me connect my phone now. Sorry about that also. I don't know what happened. It doesn't usually happen. But I appreciate your patience. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Now you should be able to see the painting. Okay, and you should also be able to hear my crazy kids yelling. Okay. Think we're good. Let me check one more thing just to make sure that I'm streaming to Facebook. Guys, thank you so much for being patient with this. All right. Okay. Okay, we're back. Let's get this. All right. Well, not good, boys. Not good. Okay. So, well, while we were messing with that, all of my blue dried. So that's perfect. So the next step, we're gonna paint the sides of the road, and we're gonna we're gonna use the same white that we had, and we're gonna add a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of violet, okay? So I'm gonna use this 2-inch chip brush, and hope you can see that there is just on bristles, like a few bristles have it. Really not much paint at all. And then I'm gonna get most of the white with that, and I'm gonna use this color to paint the side of the road. And yes, I definitely need more white. Not as much violet, more white. Okay. Just kind of. So the side of this road is gonna have a couple of trees on it. So I am not obsessing about, making sure that all the colors are blended and whatever. And I think that snow. So I grew up in Ukraine. So that's like if anybody is wondering where the accent's from. I grew up in Ukraine and I moved to the States when I was 29. And then when I was in the States, my husband got transferred to work in Austin, Texas. So that's how I ended up in Texas. And we've lived here for, I want to say 9 years. So I'm just kind of trying to make the horizon line a little bit neater looking, but it doesn't really have to. It's fine. Okay. So I have a little bit of, it's more like lavender hues, different hues of lavender on the sides. So I'm going to put more white on my brush and grab just a little bit of what's left over from that sky blue that we used on the road. White and sky blue. And I'm just going to add a little bit, just here and there. Clean up my brush and just work this in a little bit so that we have, I really like a variety of color here and there, so that works. There. So this is the background work. The background work should look ugly sometimes. At least for me, you know. I saw it somewhere. I'm not sure if it's Bob Ross expression, but it says something in the lines of work through the ugly. And normally, like the first 5 out of 6, you know, 5 out of 6 times, like when you just start painting, you're working on something, it looks ugly. And it's like, it just takes like this like one final touch, and then all of a sudden it looks good, right? So I'm rinsing out my 2-inch brush. I think I'm done with that. Unless you still need to rinse it out. If you do not have a fan brush, yeah, or if you would like to make your trees a little bit fluffier, and what I'm talking about is these trees over here in the background, the pine trees or fir trees, evergreens, the violet evergreens. So then you might want to use this for the trees, okay? Or you can use your fan brush for the trees. Okay. Let's see. Let's paint the truck. Let's start with that, and then we'll move on to the tree, because the truck is gonna take, excuse me, probably at least a couple of coats of paint, because red is finicky sometimes, and especially if you're using craft quality red, like craft paints, not artist quality paint, the pigment on there is not as thick, I guess. I guess that's the right word, right? And so your red might need more coats. Okay, so I'm just using this angular brush. It's a 3/4. I think it's important for you guys to use what's comfortable for you. I mean, I like to look and see what other artists use and what people do, but sometimes it's really important to just know what works for you. Okay, so I'm just gonna paint the sides, the roof of the truck. Painted red. I'm just gonna mist a little bit of water on my red paint because I'm using artist quality paints and they are a little bit too thick sometimes, especially when you're trying to do things like this. So if your paint isn't following your brush the way you want it to follow, maybe you just need to add a little bit of water to it. Sometimes it's all it needs. Okay. Ah! So I'm gonna go a little bit up higher than my line was, than my original line was, because I messed up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have the heads, and this is the back seat, right? And so that's the other red part of the truck. Okay, do you guys want trivia questions, or should I just, forget it? It's okay. I mean, it's not going to hurt my feelings. But I know that sometimes when you're trying to paint and somebody keeping distracting you, that's not fun. But then also sometimes, we just need some entertainment. So that's also good. So I am not gonna paint that little banner that we have here. The banner is gonna be white, and if I paint it red first, we're gonna have a big problem trying to cover that red with white. The blue is gonna be much easier. Okay. Oof. Okay. And yeah, so this is around the banner. That's going there. And I'm just using the outline for that. Outlines make things easier. A lot easier. Okay, and around here. Okay. And listen, if you don't like something like the way it comes out, yay, Holly! If you don't like it, you can always grab a liner brush and fix it, right? Just maybe put the canvas, like wait for it to dry and then put it down on the table instead of having it on the easel, and kind of have a good base for your hand so that you can move a straight line. Okay, I'm gonna finish this line here, and I'm gonna look for another question for you guys. La la la. There we go. I do that, guys. I'm sorry. I kind of sing as I work sometimes in my head, and sometimes it just kind of it gets out. All right. Okay, so this is the red. And I'm thinking while we're on red, if you guys want to grab a smaller brush and paint the hearts while we're on it, that would probably be great. I'm trying to find, oh, here they are. I kind of moved stuff around. But I gotta show you this. Check this out. This is how I keep my brushes organized. It's just a cube-shaped vase, and I filled it up with marbles and like glass pebbles. And then the brushes go straight down into it, and it's very easy to see what I need when I'm looking for a paintbrush. Okay, so let's do a question, and then I'll start painting my hearts. Question. Who's the patron saint of England? Who's the patron saint of England? Okay, painting the hearts. The little balloons. Okay. St. George. Alice! You're welcome, Melissa. Alice. Hi, Alice. Alice got bragging rights. Good to see you, Alice. Okay, let's do one more since we're still painting hearts. Ooh. What conflict was known as the war to end all wars? What? Oh, I see. D is right, and Holly got it. Yeah. Okay. So, what conflict was known as the war to end all wars? D. Holly. Oh my gosh, you guys know your history. Good job. Okay, Holly, you're like in the lead. You have 3 points now, and D has 2 points, and Alice has. No, that's not right. The first person gets it, right? So Alice has a point, and Holly has 2 points. I'm gonna try and remember that to keep score, right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the second coat on the truck. It definitely needs a second coat. So see how I do this? I rest my pinky on the surface, and that provides me some control, and then I can use my fingers to paint up and down. And then when I need to move, I use my shoulder. It's like I pretty much move all my body. So when I'm here and I'm moving from the shoulder, not from the wrist. It's super helpful when you need to have a little bit more control movement of what you're painting. Like here, you need to stay within the lines, right? Okay. So if a little bit of blue from the road, if it's still showing through, I'm not going to worry about it too much because I'm still going to add rust marks and like shadows to it. So I'm not going to worry too much. I'm going to wash my both brushes though as I'm going. So these are going to get washed. The truck needs to dry. It now has like this area here has 3 coats of paint. It needs to dry because if we keep working on that, we're going to start pulling paint and that's not pretty. We don't want that. Oh, that reminds me, you guys. That reminds me, before we had that connection problem, it happened exactly at the moment that I was going to give you all my YouTube channel link that has all of my tutorials. Like everything gets streamed to YouTube. Let me find that for you guys. Everything, all my free events go streamed there. And I know that for some people, it's a lot easier to find things on YouTube rather than on Facebook. Like Facebook is a little bit interesting about that. So you should now see the comment with my YouTube channel. So if you would like to, you can go and sign up, subscribe. And I have tracers on my website, just like I had the tracer for this one. So you can find everything you need for that. Okay. So now we're going to go for violet and we're going to start putting our trees in. So we're going to start, let me see. Yes, we're going to start with a small tree first. So here's our original painting, right? So we're going to do the first the background tree, the little one. And then we're going to plant the other tree right next to it. Okay. Okay, just making sure that is okay. And while you guys are pulling out your violet, what city has the only royal palace in the US? What city has the only royal palace in the US? Okay, I'm putting violet on. And I'm going to show you how to do this with a chip brush. Okay, so you're going to put bristles into the violet, into the paint, and you're going to go dab, dab, dab on your paper plate. So you just want paint on the bristles. You see, they're like fluffy. Oh, come back here. Okay, they're fluffy. So that's what you want. And for the small tree, so we start with the trunk. Okay, it's somewhere not quite. So this is the middle, a little bit off to the side, not exactly in the middle, off to the side. And I'm just gonna go up, 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 just like that. That's my trunk. Okay. And then I'm gonna add like this, the triangle. And then I'm gonna do the first one dab, and then I'm gonna start spreading out. Just like this. That's the first go. It's gonna take a while. Okay. More paint. And Holly gets Honolulu. Holly, what is it? 3 points now? Oh my gosh. You know what? I should start giving like half a point for being the second one, because I think that like we don't all have the same speed internet, and sometimes that might be the issue, right? So yeah, just dab, dab, dab. Just fill it in. Give it the triangular shape. Bring it to the line over here. And that's it. And stop. Okay? All right. Oh my gosh, my nose. More purple, more violet, sorry. More violet. And now the second tree I'm gonna do with the fan brush. Hold on, I'm gonna wash this out first. I'm about to sneeze. Oh. This is not bad. I had a paint party when I had severe allergies. We have cedar blooming around here. Okay, fan brush. Fill it up with your violet paint. And so I never went back counting how many times I sneezed during that paint party, but I think, I sneezed pretty much every 3 minutes. It was pretty bad. Okay, so this one is gonna start, the trunk is gonna be where the little one edge is, okay? So I'm just gonna bring up the trunk up higher, and I'm gonna use the side to start. It's a whole different impression, of course. It looks different from the other tree. And just kind of dab, dab, and just kind of bring them down. Get some more. Well, I almost dipped it into my coffee. Thank you, Melissa. Almost dabbed it into my coffee. Okay. So that's the tree. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put some more, a little bit close to the trunk to just close it up a little bit. So there is another. Yeah. Okay. So right now we created like the dark part of the tree, and it needs to dry. And then when it's dry, we'll be able to add the snow to it, and then it will look different. I'm looking on the computer and I'm trying to see if you guys can, if it shows well. Yeah, that doesn't help much, does it? What if I tried? There. This is where we are right now with the tree. Trying to figure out, I'm going backwards on the camera. Okay? All right. Next step, let's use the liner brush, and we're gonna use the same violet that we have here already, and we're gonna paint the trees that are on the sides. I'm adding water to my violet paint because it dried, it got real thick. It's already thick, but it got even more thick, and it's hard to paint with that when you're using a liner brush. All right, so let's do trees. So we have one tree growing right here. So I'm just gonna start at the bottom and go up, 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 and then make the first branch. Just over to the side. It's not very comfortable the way I'm standing, but I couldn't figure out the best way to have it. Oh, thank you, Holly. Okay. So this is the first one. Just gonna try to. There we go. And here's what we're gonna do next. Okay. So you're gonna add to the thickness of the trunk. Just keep going up. And then add another one. And then again, all the way from the bottom, you pretty much are growing a tree. Just don't get caught into trying to make it symmetrical or even or geometrically correct. This is not what trees are about. And if you try, so see, the trunk is going to go all the way into the edge of the canvas. So we only really get to see a half of this tree, or maybe even a third. So if you ever would sit down and try and look at the trees, you will see that they are not symmetrical. They are gorgeous, but they're not symmetrical or, you know. Okay, now branches, we're going to go up the branch and then add, let's just let it go one way, and then go up the other one and just let it go that way. Just add some branches. They do not need to be perfect. Again, I'm reminding you, they don't need to be perfect for many reasons, but one of the reasons is that we're going to put snow on them, and it's not going to matter after all, anyway. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit more here. And that tree is done. And so next, I'm going to paint the tree that sits over here on the right-hand side. And the trunk starts around the second heart over here. So this is where I'm gonna start. And I'm just gonna go up. In this case, we can see the whole tree, so I'm starting with the center of the tree. Okay. We're gonna paint the second tree. Let's paint both trees, and then we'll take a little break for those who need to catch up, or if you guys need to do something. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just layering the trunk, going thinner, and then putting the branch on it. Kind of let it branch out a little. Now I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. Let it branch out. Okay, and again, I think like that. I know Bob Ross said it. He said that imperfections are what makes art beautiful. Imperfections, you know? And I keep always thinking about that. I'm like, well, yeah, because imperfections tell a story. There is no story in perfect. It's just perfect. It's boring. So I'm gonna add here and maybe one over there, like a rogue branch. Now, if so I'm looking at mine and it looks to me that it's a little bit lopsided. So I'm just gonna turn my canvas straight for me because it's at an angle for me. Hold on, I'll come back to you. Yeah, it was a little bit lopsided, so I'm just gonna fix that. And I'm gonna make sure that the bottom of the tree looks like it's got snow around it a little bit. Okay, let me make sure I'm back to my previous position. Yep, I think I'm good. Okay. All right. Just to relax you. I like this question. Ready? Where is the gum department store? Where is the gum department store? Okay, and while you're figuring that out, I'm gonna add a couple more branches to the sides, here and there. It's all good. It's all gonna get snow on it anyway. Okay, let's do the other tree. Same way. So the other tree is kind of way back down here. It starts. So we have just a little bit of the trunk and mostly the branches. Okay. So we don't get to do this whole whoa all the way up. We kind of have the part of the tree, not the whole tree. We don't see the full thing. So I'm just gonna start all the way at the bottom and bring it up. Holly, you're killing me! Moscow, Russia. Good job. Amazing. So what is it? 4 points for you. Thank you, lady. Okay, I'm breaking my own rules. I'm adding branches already. All right, here we go. I think I made mine a little bit too tall, but it'll work. You know what? I got tired of working with my very tiny liner brush. I'm gonna get a thicker, a little bit bigger round brush for that. Here, that will work. Yep. Okay, just a little bit bigger brush just to speed up the. And this is, yeah, this is pretty much what I told you guys at the beginning. Use the brushes that you're comfortable with. Don't become a, you know, don't be a hostage of a brush. It's just a brush, it's a tool. Yes, some of them are good for some things and better for others, but you know, it's still a tool. Okay, my soapbox. My favorite soapbox. So this one's kind of hiding also. It's very weird. Mine is weird. I think I'm gonna add like sideways branches from here and there. There, yeah, kind of like that. So let's do that. Again, you guys don't overthink this. It's just a tree that's going to be covered in snow. Something like that. Just gives you a focal point in the corner. All righty, friends. Before I go, I'm gonna give you all guys a link if I can get my mouse straight. Yes. So, two links. One is to join my newsletter if you would like it, because sometimes, you know, Facebook notifications don't get through and it's nice to have a link. And the other one is the link to my free printables that I have like these I have coloring pages there, lots of stuff. So looks like my thing. Yep, my thing is doing it again. Hold on. Okay, how's that? Better. All right. Okay. I was gonna give you access to my free downloads. I want to. Oh, it's coming. Okay, never mind. All right, guys. 5 minutes break. 5 minutes. And we'll be back. So, you know, do whatever you need. And we'll be back. All right. And it does it again. It keeps throwing the sound on for me, and I don't need the sound on. Hold on. Sorry about that. Technologies, right? Okay. So I have some wet spots on the tree, and that's perfect for what we're gonna do. We're going to use the fan brush, or if you have a different one that you would rather do use that one. And we're gonna add highlights and snow, right? So first, snow is just white, right? There's like no, so we're gonna have like very dark and like real white. So we're gonna add some midtones first. And if your trees are dry, which could have happened, add a little bit of violet to your white and make it like right in between the dark violet and the white. Does it make sense? Tell me if it makes sense. Okay. And yes, like right now, it doesn't look good yet. We haven't done the work to make it look good. It will look good eventually, but not quite yet. So I'm using my fan brush right here. I got it filled with my white, and I'm gonna get a little bit of violet on it to add the mid tones to my trees here. So I'm gonna start with the tree that's behind, and I'm gonna just kind of go with sweeping motions. And that's it. And I'm just gonna stop here. Too much white. See, I did use too much white. Let me put some more purple on there so that we still have, so that there is volume that we can see. There we go. For this tree. Okay. Now a little bit more white on this brush, more purple, more white. I want all the colors on there. So see how it has white and purple and yeah, like all the different shades of, oh, I'm not helping here. Helps to have a hand behind it so that the camera can focus. So this is what I have, all right? Okay, so I'm gonna go up high and start working. And bringing this back. So right now it might still look like a mess because we used the same color, right? The color in the tree in the back is using the same color. So that's not quite what we wanted, but we're gonna let this sit for a minute and we're gonna let this dry, and then we're gonna add white to the color that's directly in the front, okay? And it will kind of reset the color. The darker elements usually they seem like they go back, right? If something's dark, and the light things are pulled forward. So we'll play with that. Okay. Okay, clean the brush. Clean the brush. All right, let's get some black. And you know what? No, I take that back. White. clear, clean white. And we're gonna paint that little banner on the back because it needs to be done. Just a flat brush, whatever size you like, whatever works for you. Just grab some white. You might need more than one coat, but that's okay. So this banner is like a fabric banner or whatever. So it's kind of a little bit floppy, right? So it doesn't need straight lines. Again, I'm dragging from my shoulder, doing this line. Yeah. Okay. If you happen to put some white on your red where you do not want it, just grab a damp paper towel or a baby wipe and just wipe it right off. It will come off. So I'm doing the second coat now, and then I'm gonna let it dry because if I go for the third coat, it's gonna start peeling paint. And we do not want that. Just as before, we still do not want that. Okay. This is why I wanted to do this, so that while it's drying, we can paint the tires, and then we can put another coat of white on here if we need it. All right, black. Let's do black, and I need to take that little banner off. Thank you so much for your support, for everybody who's already done this. I don't know if you know, Facebook doesn't like us to use certain words on lives. And so they kind of, yeah, so we have to be creative about that. Okay. Black. I said black. Okay, black for the tires. Where is my black? I'm either blind or it's hiding. Nope, right here. Black. Not much. Not gonna need a lot. And smaller brush probably for tires would be wise. Okay, so as I said, the things that are closer to us need to be lighter than the things that are farther away. So the tires that are on the inside, these two, we're gonna paint black, just straight black. Again, might need a couple of coats, but no big deal, right? Just make sure everything is dry before you put your hand, you rest your hand on it. Okay. Okay, so those are going to be in the back. And then I'm going to just take my brush and I'm going to just dip into white. See, just a little bit here. Let me just making sure that you can see. See, just the tip. Okay. And I'm going to add this to a little bit of black. So this black is going to get tiny bit lighter. Not much lighter, just a little bit, but that's all we need. And we're going to, with that, we're going to paint the back wheels, tires. It's interesting how such a little thing adds to perspective, to your perception of what you're seeing. Look, can you see this? Like immediately, whoop, and they move. They're not flat anymore. It's not a 2D, it's a 3D. Like your brain just kind of goes, whoa, amazing, right? Oh no, I'm running out of paint. I'm just gonna dab a little bit of water because I really do not want to get any more, mix anymore. I think I have enough to do this. Yeah, this works. Y'all, it is so hard not to be hard on yourself when you're painting and you're trying to do something that some people have been doing all their lives. I can so relate. I haven't started painting until I was 41, and I'm 43 now. So I've only been painting for 2 years. And until I was 39, I was never interested in drawing or like anything. You know, Rebecca says, I like the tree. Thank you. And so, you guys, just enjoy yourself, you know? Can't. And another thing is always step back. When you paint something and then you think, oh, this is awful. Yeah. Step back. Give it a minute. Sometimes sleep on it. Sometimes it takes more than one sitting, yeah, to get something done. But it does, and then you get it. Okay, done with this. Back to white. Back to white. It's interesting how on screen I'm looking. My white looks pretty good, but from my side here, it needs another coat. Okay, how about yours? Do you guys need another coat on white? Okay. This is going to be good. Yep, it's hiding all the blue. You could see a lot of blue shining through still, but not anymore. So that's all good. Let's get in there. There. Okay, let's let this dry. Okay, so next we're gonna do our fan brush again for the rest of the tree to bring the tree where we want it. Fan brush, more white on the fan brush. Directly on the fan brush, don't make it wet. Just it's damp probably because we've been using it, right? But it shouldn't be dripping wet. Okay. So some white on the tips, and I am just gonna add this snow to my bigger tree. And you know what? Something happened. I really do not like this. I'm just gonna get my damp paper towel and wipe it down. And this is the reason why I like acrylics so much, because you can just, yeah, it was becoming a mess. I don't like it. Not good, not good. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? So here's what didn't work. I'm telling you what was wrong. My brush had too much paint on it, and it just went all clumpy. Way too clumpy. Okay. So I'm gonna let it sit. I want it to dry more. So we're gonna work on the truck and let this dry. Like, I don't know about you, probably I just have a little bit too much paint on there right now. So I'm gonna let this dry, work on the truck, and then if needed, I'll just use a blow dryer to dry it up, and it's all gonna be good. Okay, I'm going for burnt sienna. I'm gonna paint the hair and the seat, and we're gonna add some rusty spots or like darker shaded spots. So we're gonna grab some burnt sienna, and I'm gonna need a little bit of red for that. Okay. So I'm gonna grab some of this burnt sienna directly on the brush. And then on the other side of the brush, I'm gonna put some red. So see how I have, let me move it around again for you here. I have two colors on the brush, okay? And I'm gonna use this to create some kind of rusty shading. Okay, so I don't know, it would help to know what these parts are called in the car, in the truck. I have no clue. So the tailgate, I know that word. The tailgate is gonna stay bright red. Okay, now this part over here on the top, that can be a little bit darker. So I'm just gonna darken it up. If you just have brown, just be careful and maybe have a look at how much brown you want to use with this. And I pulled on a little bit of white. So I'm just going to clean this up. There. Okay. Again, a little bit of brown, some red, and we're going to add some of it here. And on the other side. Okay. Then I'm going to leave the cab alone. Okay, don't add anything. I'm not going to add anything to that. And then I think this part is called a bumper. If you got paint somewhere where you don't want it to be, just use your damp paper towel or baby wipe and wipe it off. Not a big deal. Okay. Okay, that maybe is a little bit too much brown, so I'm just going to go back with a little bit more of red and kind of, yeah, just bring it back, just play with it. The best way to do this, y'all, is to put it on, your paint, apply your paint, right? Paint it, paint it, apply your paint, yeah, and step back, like step back. I keep stepping back. I know I'm like, you can't see me in the camera anymore, but right? Step back. Take like at least 5 steps back. And as you're stepping back, do not look at your painting. So turn away, and step away. And then maybe even close your eyes, look at something else, like get yourself a visual break, and then go back and look at it. Okay? It will help you see what needs improvement and what doesn't. All right. So I rinsed off my red. I have a little bit of black left. So I'm going to take that black and I'm going to add it to a little bit of this burnt sienna. It's not enough black. I'm going to add some more black on my palette here. I don't want black, okay? I just want a very dark brown. Not happy with that. So just mix and see. I want a dark brown so that it looks more like brown leather. And I know they don't do that anymore in trucks and whatever. It's not a, so you can paint it any color you like. But like this over here, this is the seat. So I'm just gonna, it's almost espresso brown, very dark brown, but it's still brown, it's not black. Okay, how's everybody feeling? Again, see, I kind of got into the red where I don't want it. And since the red is already dry, we can just go back, wipe it down. Just carefully wipe it off. You don't want to smudge it too much. And then come back again and fix it how you like it. Okay, so this image is inspired by myself and my husband. We do not have a red truck. We have a black Tacoma. And he loves it and I love it. It's a good little truck. But I thought that red would go better with Valentine's theme. So I ended up doing a red truck. Okay. All right. So this same dark brown, add a little bit more of black to it. And that's going to be his hair. Because you usually don't even see, right? You just usually see just the outline of a person there. So it doesn't really matter. Okay. And then for the lady, well, I'm a redhead, kind of going with lots of natural highlights, but a redhead. So what I did for her, I think I grabbed some brown and I added some red to it to just kind of give it, a reddish tint. And that's what I used for her color. You guys can do whatever you like with that, of course. So like, it's real funny. Like I got almost to the end of the painting and I'm like, oh yeah, you can use any color. Anyway, here we go. And my favorite forever bun right at the base of the neck. That's like my favorite hairstyle, but that's why it's there. But of course, again, paint the person that you would like to paint. Yeah. Okie dokie. Okay. Rinse in the brush. Ah, come on. Okie doke. White and just white, and a little bit of gray. So I just want very, very light gray. I do not want it to be completely white, but I don't want it to be very gray too. So I'm going to paint the license plate. That goes right here in the middle. Something like that. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. It's a whimsical painting, right? Here. Okay. So right in there. Rinse the brush. I think we're gonna move to black. And we're gonna need a liner brush. We're gonna do the lettering. It's not hard, and you should be able to do it by hand. If you can write, you should be able to do it by hand. Okay, so some black on it. Make sure that black is the right consistency for you to write with. So I'm gonna add water to mine because I know my black is pretty thick. I like it thinner than sour cream. It's more like melted ice cream, consistency, if that helps. Or like heavy whipping cream, Okay, have my black. So I'm just gonna use it to write forever. So V goes, okay, let me show you guys so that in the original, right? So that you can see. Here we go. V, letter V is right in the middle. Okay, because we have 4 characters here. 4 E, V, E, R. V goes in the middle, and then we add E and E on either side, and then you add 4 and R. Okay? And I think it looks so cute because it's like handwritten. It's not a stencil. I think it adds character to it because it's not a stencil. All right, hold on, I'm not happy with my paint. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm eyeballing. Here's my center, and here's where I want to have my letter. So I'm just gonna go strokes from the top to bottom, just like that. Now I'm gonna add the E's on either side. I'm using my liner brush, by the way, I forgot to tell you. And then here, gonna be the number 4. And on the other side, it's going to be the R. And if there is something that I would like to maybe touch up, I can go back and touch up. But I think I like this. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to the tiny liner brush. Do you have a tiny liner brush? I'm not doing any more trivia questions because I told you guys that we'll be done by 9. And I'm really trying to be done by 9 so that I'm not holding you more than I promised I would. All right. So next we're gonna draw donuts that somebody had taken a bite out of, and the piece, the bite, is gonna be facing the corners. Okay, so just like that. It's like grommets because it has to hold on to something, right? And another one. And they attach to the corners of our tailgate. So, my painting moved. But that's okay because it's not, maybe it got moved or something. Okay. Like that. And then from this corner, it would be the bottom right corner. We're gonna connect a little hearts. I think something like that. Like that. Another one. And the third one. Okay. Now we're gonna paint the outside of the side view mirrors. I can't see mine anymore, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. And the other one. Okay. Checking on you guys if anybody has any questions. I have one more link to share with you before we're all done, because yes, this is a free party. Of course it is. But if you would like to give me a tip, I would very much appreciate it. And here's the direct link. Okay, moving on. This. So I must tell you guys, on the smaller one here, I didn't want to do this. But on the bigger one, I want to add a little bit of something going around the banner. And so I'm just going to use the same black paint and the same tiny tiny liner brush, and I'm just gonna add lines going like this. It doesn't, doesn't have to be, but I think it adds a little bit more to this banner. Like you can, okay. Same black, tiny liner. If you wish, your last name can go on the license plate or something else. You can always add something cute. So here we go. And little kind of, what others? Little screws that hold your license plate down. Okay. How's everybody? All right. White. We're gonna need white with the liner brush. So go ahead and grab some white, and we're gonna add some highlights. So I'm gonna add highlights to the side view mirrors, just kind of like this. And you want to mimic them the same way, because there's no symmetry in like reflections like this, right? They're two mirrors and they're gonna reflect the same way. And then we're gonna add a little bit of highlights here, and maybe like here and here. So it kind of gives us this illusion of glass. Okay. I'm leaving that 3 foot for the last thing I'm doing. Now I'm gonna add snow in between the branches. Just in between, because it makes sense. That's where snow collects the most, right? So just in between, like where there's a fork, or a V or a Y. Yeah, just like that. And you can pile as much snow or as little snow as you would like. And then pile up some snow at the base of your tree. Okay. And then put some snow where you think it would be logical for the snow to rest. Where would it sit? Like if it snowed, where would that snow end up? Here. Okay. And we have another tree here. Just adding snow. Okay. And onto the branches where I think it would make sense for the snow to pile up. It's always been my favorite when you wake up and it snowed, and it's just, oh, so pretty. And probably people who have snow all the time, you guys are probably very tired of it. I totally forget um, to tell people who are watching the replay, thank you for doing the replay, because I know that some people are going to be watching the replay. So if you're doing this with the replay, if you're painting with me, please let me know. Like, you can put a number 2 on there, you can say replay, or you can just say hi. I love it when I see people saying hi on my tutorials that are already in the library. I just love that. It's like, yay! People are watching. You know. Okay. See what I did here? I stepped back. It's important. Step back is important. All right. Okay, guys, we have 2 things left. We have to put the snow on our ever violet trees. And we have to add snowflakes to the rest of the sky, and then we're done. Okay. I'm just rinsing out my brushes because I have a tendency to forget to do that after I'm done painting. So I'm trying to get this habit in that, no, you gotta rinse your brushes. All right, so let's cross our fingers and hope that this time this will work. I'm gonna try and not overload my brush. Still, yeah, something like this. And I'm gonna try and, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And just gonna try and add texture to the tree. It's all gonna work out in the end. Always does. Just sometimes you need to add a little bit more paint. Acrylics are great, you know, because if you paint something and it didn't quite work out, you can always paint over it, no big deal. So here we go. Just kind of that's what I want. I want a little bit more white here. Okay, and this smaller tree, it kind of got lost a little bit. What we can do, what do your small trees look like? Are you liking them? What's going on? How to fix this? So this is, I think it's called Filbert. I'm not sure. It's a rounded, here, let me move this again. Here, rounded corners brush. It's a number, who cares, right? 12. Yeah, it's pretty much as big as my finger, if it helps, because every brand has their own, their own way they put numbers in. So I dampen it. I don't want it dripping wet. I just dampen it. I'm gonna put a little bit of violet again back on my palette here. Not much, just a little bit. And this is why we need this, because it has rounded corners. Okay, so I'm gonna get some violet like this. I'll just fill it up. There you go. Fill it up. And I'm gonna go back into that small tree and try and reshape it. Yep, with darker, a little bit darker colors. I'm not gonna go into that big tree at all.
Mom,
But I think this is what we need. Uh-huh.
my leg's hurting again.
Like how?
Like,
Dude, can you give me like 5 minutes? I'm almost done and then we'll talk. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Yep, I think that helped a little bit. So you can see that there's 2 different trees on there, but not quite. Trying to. Let's make this up higher. Yes, I'm gonna make mine a little bit up higher. So that you can see here, so that there is a top of the tree. Yeah. And then, same messy brush, a little bit of white on here. And we're just gonna add a little bit of white here. And it's gonna blend with some. And that's okay. There. I think now we can see, yes. So now we can see that there are 2 different distinctive trees, right? And I'm gonna add a little bit more white here to this part. Just kind of highlight it and hide it. Okay? All right. So adding snow, you can do it with a toothbrush. You can add some water to your white paint and just flicker it. You can add some water to your fan brush and then get some white. You just want it really wet. Really, really, really wet. Let me see. Yep, that's pretty wet. And so I'm just gonna face the canvas and flicker it on. Just like that. And I just dropped some white onto my truck. Yay, thank God for acrylics. You can just wipe it off. Okay. Right. And I just wanted to show you, I was thinking about something because this original one has those like bigger snowflakes here. You can do this with a Q-tip. So you just grab a Q-tip, put it into your white paint, just load it with white paint. And go randomly add a few of these. Okay, if you like to, the last one I think would be the last thing. And I think it would help, like right in between the tires, like I would just draw just a line, just to separate these tires, and then add a highlight for the bumper. Doesn't have to be like the straight line, just a highlight. And maybe, yeah, I would add highlight here on the top to just, considering that it's snowing, that's good. And then maybe just a little bit over here. It wasn't on the original painting, but I think it makes it look good. And then the last ones are the highlights for the hearts, for the balloons. Oh, you can make them straight, just like we did the windows. Or if you would like to, you can just kind of make it like this, like letter C. Yeah, and then you go back and you add a tiny drop after that letter C. And that's it. And we're done. So this painting is complete. Make sure to check out the events that I have coming up. I have a full February schedule. I'm painting every Saturday night. So if you would like to come back, I would love to have you. All right. Don't forget to sign your name, which I already did. Carlson there. Okay. All right. So I'm only 6 minutes late, even considering technical difficulties. I think we're good. Well, you please upload your paintings. I would love to see what you came up with. I love seeing that, and I love being tagged in people's posts and seeing what they painted. And I will see you online some other time. I hope you guys had fun and have a great night. I'll see you around. Bye.